Good morning, Rainmakers. It's Thursday, 16th of January, and here I am back again, trying my best to give some insights and things that I've learned. And yes, today's podcast or session is about being part of the right team or tribe and how that really sort of affects your mental stability. And how, if you can find the right fit, it will really bring you happiness and satisfaction without even trying. So the reason why this came up is I was watching my son playing football on Sunday on a league game. It was an indoor venue, but the energy and passion, not only from the kids, but also from the adults and people around, really was infectious. And I was thinking to myself, how nice is it to sort of come to the event? It's just the Sunday League match, but there's about 6 matches going on. Straight away I walked into the premises Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, half asleep, and woke up straight away, energy, feeling amazing, really cheering my son on and his team. For that half an hour, I was looking around thinking, wow, if I could feel like this when I go to work, when I'm doing my everyday activities, what a resource to have. And so without even sort of trying to create that atmosphere, no one tells you what to do. No one gives you any rules or regulations. No one tells you need to come in at that time and you need to leave at that time. And as a result of just being pure and understanding the fact that we were coming to a football game, that they were able to create this magic. And I think that's one of the reasons why football games and sports events are so intoxicatingly addictive, and we have fans. It's not just the game, whether it be football, basketball, tennis, badminton. It's the fact that you're in an arena with positive energy and gladiators fighting it out. But again, because the sports are different, the players are different, the teams are different, it's not actually about the teams themselves, but it's the atmosphere that it creates and the passion and the resonance you have with that particular sport, and the essence of it is the same. So when you're coming to choosing a job, when you're coming to choose your tribe, it is so important that you understand who you are, how you operate, and where you're coming from. Because ultimately, if you go for a job interview and soon as you walk through the door of that company or see that company and you don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling, you don't get that connection, you don't get that sort of enthusiasm and excitement, then it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how much money they offer you. It doesn't really matter if they give you the job of a lifetime in terms of what you envisage, because ultimately you should be able to find that in another company. Of course, if you can't, I understand, you have to take that job. But one thing that will happen is that not only will you be trying to achieve something to a highest level, you will also have to be fighting an uphill battle with getting on with the company atmosphere, the way things are done, and also the way you work and interact with your colleagues. So on the other hand, now, if you found a company which is resonates with you, has great sort of connections with you, has a great atmosphere. Now, even if you're not as good as your job, and even if you're not as enthusiastic or think you can rule the world, that enthusiasm, that passion, that vibrance will bring you up, and you will achieve things that you thought you would have never ever achieved. And it's so important to understand yourself and not sell yourself short, not go for that first interview and go to that first company and think, yeah, this is okay, it's quite good. And if I'm being honest, that's what I did. I came to Dubai. I went for one job interview, which was an off-plan interview. And then I thought I was going to join this company, which I didn't. And then ultimately I thought to myself, well, okay, I don't want to work in the primary off-plan market. I want to work in the secondary market. And I went to one company. Now, in my life, I would never, ever sort of do a one company thing. Because, if I'm going to buy a car, if I'm going to buy a microwave, if I'm going to actually purchase anything or do anything, I will research it. I will look into different comparisons, and I'd make an educated guess. However, I've walked into this company, and it reminded me of my old company that I used to work for back in the day, which was a business-to-business company where the floor was full of people. There seems to be an atmosphere and a buzz going around. However, deep down inside, what I really wanted to know, and the real reason I wanted to join the company, was to understand the Dubai property market, and also to understand that the job that I did in the UK and I did in Dubai was different. So what kind of training and what kind of tools were going to be given, and what structure was in place in order to achieve my goal. However, because I got taken away by the lovely office, the great location, a suave manager came in dressed all smart in his suit, talked about all the right things in terms of monetary stuff, and we had a good conversation about sales and just about sort of lifestyles and stuff. I completely forgot to ask him the essence of what I wanted from the job in terms of the training and the structure, and come out of the meeting and sort of decided that I would then join this company. I should have gone to other companies and spoken to other companies. I should have gone and seen different things. But was it a combination of laziness, or was I fooled? Now, it could be a combination of the both. But ultimately, I went into this job, and it was astonishing in terms of the fact that I got no training. I just got given a database and told, just call these people, cold call them, which is fine. Ultimately, I've done that before in my previous job, but everybody gets cold called. In Dubai at the moment, there is a sort of a structure of cold calling will be fined and stuff. That's the extent of the cold calling. So there has to be different methods and different ways of trying to do this job. So I asked my manager, I'm having a bit of difficulty there. Can you help me out with the style of pitch or something? And he was like, oh, everybody has their different style. Just work it out yourself. Not very helpful. Going back to what I discussed in terms of the fact that ultimately I joined this company for the wrong reasons. Yes, it resonated with my thoughts of being tricked or fooled, but also I didn't do any research. So, number one, if you're going to join a company and you're going to make sure you have 3, 4, 5 interviews, you go see the different companies, you go see the philosophies of the companies. If you are an entrepreneur and you are working within a co-working space, go see the different co-working spaces, go feel the atmosphere. Don't just go along to the first one and say, oh, this is fantastic, great, I'm going to join. Because ultimately it may be fantastic in terms of the small little criteria that your head thinks it needs, but it's not for the other stuff that you need as well. And if you have nothing to compare it to, then you are not making an educated guess. And it's so important to resonate with the atmosphere and the people that you're working with on a daily basis. So therefore, then that catalyst will then inspire you to do a great, amazing job. It doesn't mean that you can't be inspired or inspire yourself, but you have to really ask where you are in your stage of life in order to be and do what you want to do, or whether you want to be a catalyst for other people, so that's why the company has brought you in, or whether you're learning and want to grow and be where you want to be. So, it's really important to understand your personality. Another example I'll give you is, from a young age, I wanted to be a stockbroker. I wanted to trade stocks and shares. My parents and all the people around me were like, "Oh no, you'll burn out. It's not a great job." They didn't tell me, of course, that you'll burn out and earn lots of money if you're good at it, and then you can retire early and have the freedom to do what you want to do. They just thought that I would burn out and be a nobody. But ultimately, that was my passion. That was what I really wanted to do. I did do spread betting and sports trading, which I still do now as a hobby. But I know deep in my heart, if I had done that, if I had basically been given the path to show that, I would have been super amazing. I would have loved going to work, and I would have loved competing with myself and the markets and the other traders around me. It's in my DNA. However, I missed that opportunity. Yes, I've done other great things. Yes, I have fulfilled my desire, but I love to compete. Now, I love competing, even if it's playing tiddlywinks. My friends will tell you that as well. If I could wake up in the morning and play Monopoly every day, I would. So, moral of the story is, don't listen to your peers. Listen to your heart. You will know deep down inside that you have a calling. You may not hear it now, but just listen, think, listen. It says it all the time. One of my other aspirations is to be up one day on a stage speaking to people. I'm enthusiastic. I've got energy. I've got desire. I know I can hold a crowd together, and I know I can give them something. I've had this thought in my head of being on a stage when I've seen Anthony Robbins, gone and seen Paul McKenna, and I've gone to all my development programs that I've gone to. And I've sat there and thought, I could do that. I'd love to do that. I'd love to engage with people, but I've not done it. So this is my journey now, finally, on YouTube, in order to get and be where I want to one day. And that is the visual I've had since I was a small kid. It's always been there every week, and I just ignore it. Why do I ignore it? Because of the fact that I don't want to act on it. Maybe because it keeps repeating itself. Now it's got to a stage when it keeps saying it. I don't ignore it because I think it's like somebody calling you up all the time. Then you just not answer the phone call anymore. You know it's there and they're calling, but you don't answer the phone call anymore. Why? Because human nature has something wiring in your head to sort of say, oh, yes, they're telling you something to do, but you don't have to do it now. And they've asked you so many times, I won't do it now. But ultimately, in your head, you will know who you are, what you desire, how you resonate, where you want to be. So when you join a company in a state agency, look for the right company. When you are looking for that right company, look only not for the fit of people, look at really at all the things that you want to, where you want to go. Thank you very much.